We've interviewed a number of people who have written books about money, finance, investing, and so forth, and occasionally a good book of fiction comes along that deals with this as well. Robert Landori is joining us on the phone now, author of a book called Havana Harvest. Good morning to you.
And a very good morning to you too, Ken.
Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get to the book, let's talk a little about your background. I've been to the Cayman Islands. What a beautiful place.
And
it was? It's not?
Before the hurricane and lots of high-rises, low high-rises.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, it never seemed like a place where anything untoward was going on. It seemed like a very peaceful, nice place. You were a trustee in bankruptcy. I don't know what that means.
It means that I take over the assets of a company that went bust, and I would liquidate them, sell them, so that the creditors can recover some of their money at least. Now, basically, that's what a trustee in bankruptcy does.
Do you still live there?
No, I don't, but I visit there. I don't like it as much as I used to because, as I said, there are too many people. There were 12,000 when I started there, and now there are 85,000.
Wow, that's quite a population increase for a very small area. There is a lot of money hiding away in the Cayman Islands. How much?
I cannot tell you about the Cayman Islands, but I can tell you this. There are about $12 trillion offshore in secret bank accounts around the world. I mean, the Cayman Islands is only one of many, call it tax havens or offshore secure places. And as a matter of fact, you were talking to the people about my book, Havana Harvest. That's where that book really starts, in Cayman.
And then moves around the world.
And then moves around the world, yeah.
Is it is this book a mystery?
This is a novel. This is a novel which involves, of course, money laundering to a degree, and Cuban drug money, and the question as to whether or not the Castro brothers were involved in shenanigans related to the drug deal, or drug trade, I should say. And, of course, it resulted in the death of a general whom they tried and executed, having accused him of having done drugs and drug deals and helping the Medellin cartel. I mean, Havana Harvest is exactly that, a harvest of ideas about Havana.
When did you write the book?
I wrote the book approximately, I would say 20 years ago, and refined it and brought it to fruition in approximately 6 months ago. And it got published on the 1st of September of this year. And you can get it everywhere, even in this fancy new digital world, in digital form too, digital and paperback. Havana Harvest.
There's talk, Mr. Landori, that we'll reestablish relations with Cuba and some movement in that direction. What are your thoughts on that? Is that a possibility? Would that be a good thing?
Well, the Castro brothers are still firmly in control.
Right. They're pretty old, though.
Yeah, but there's a young man, Alejandro Castro, who's Raul's son, and they're trying to get him in position to succeed. But I don't know if they would or not. It's unlikely. The people of Cuba are sort of getting restless because even Fidel said that the economic model they have doesn't work.
Other than, we know drug dealers probably are involved in this. You mentioned tax implications. What are some other reasons why people have these secret offshore accounts?
Well, one of them is when a man is trying to get a good divorce from his wife. He hides some of his stuff over there so that she cannot grab it, or vice versa. A wife versus the man, you know. This is one of the reasons. The other reason is, the main reason is tax reason. And many people are there who are doing illicit things, such as robbing banks and doing things that they shouldn't do, ripping off stockholders in false IPOs, etc., etc. You have a wonderful show that deals with business all the time. You know what IPOs are, and you also know how easy it is to manipulate some of the stocks. I was listening to some of the things that you were saying today about the fabulous rise of these new Chinese stocks.
Yes. And, would we be surprised, without naming any particular person or groups of persons, would we be really surprised as to who is having these offshore accounts sort of hiding their money away?
Yes. There are people that you never think of, but then there are people whom you would think of who are very, very sensitive to pressure from outside. You know that many heads of state have hidden money there. Papa Doc from Haiti, Idi Amin from Africa, this fellow Salinas, who was supposed to be, well, at least Salinas was supposed to be pure as white snow. But they have money in these places, and they use these secret places extensively.
Well, Papa Doc and Idi Amin weren't quite so white as snow, but...
No, they were not, but Salinas was supposed to have been.
There was a good effort in the last couple of years going through UBS to get to some of these people who are hiding money and not paying taxes in the U.S. What could we do to limit this offshore accounting that's going on now? What else could we do?
Difficult question.
Yeah, because I don't really like having to pay taxes, and the guy next to me doesn't have to because he has an offshore bank account.
Well, that's it. You see, you have to have more transparency in reporting, and you have to force these offshore tax havens to close down and cooperate with the United States of America. But you know, the Chinese have offshore money. The Chinese have offshore money because their offshore money is defined as being offshore in the United States, trillions and trillions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
That's offshore money. What's offshore money? Offshore money is really something that is that disappears from the books of the particular country in which it was generated and goes into an area such as the Cayman Islands where nobody knows it's there.
Well, this book, have you sold the movie rights to it? It sounds like it would make a terrific movie.
Well, it would make a terrific movie. Havana Harvest was, in fact, conceived as an action movie that is, as you say, moving around the world. And, you know, lots of scripts are floating around. I don't know why they didn't choose mine yet. I'm working on it.
They often don't choose the book author as the script writer.
That's right. I keep pushing. I say, look at this, look at this, look at this. It's very topical. It's very actual. It's very au fait.
Maybe you'll be
no way.
You'll be a script consultant or something. Robert Landori is the author of a book called Havana Harvest, a good read for the holiday season. If you like fast-paced mysteries, this would be the book for you. And we appreciate your joining us this morning on the show.
Not at all. Tell them that they can find out more about it at robertlandori.com.
That's Landori, robertlandori.com.
And robertlandori.com.
There you go. Very good. Thanks so much for joining us.
Listen, thank you.